So, pass or fail. Now, as you can see, the back right tyre there is actually touching the line. It's not over the line into the other bay. That is the crucial factor here. Let's spin it round over to the other side of the car. You'll notice the front left tyre is also touching the line. But again, the defining factor, it is touching the line. So as long as some of the tyre is touching that line, that is actually a pass here on the driving test in the UK. You can see it's just touching it, even though some of the car is actually overhanging into the other bay. Look at the back, it's not like I'm overhanging at the back or anything. But then when you spin it round to the front, you'd look at it and think, well, obviously I wouldn't leave it like that in normal everyday life. But for a driving test, bizarrely enough, this example here is actually a pass.
So as bizarre as that may seem regarding it was, you know, the tyres were touching both of the lines. Got my back right tyre completely touching the line and the front left tyre completely touching the line. The key was both tyres were touching the line and they weren't protruding fully into the bay, either bay that was either side. So bizarrely on a test, that would actually be a pass. Now obviously you wouldn't leave it there in general everyday driving. So if I was going to nip into a supermarket or whatever, you wouldn't leave it there because clearly where you park there, two cars would not be able to park either side of you. But on a driving test, as long as you have some of your tyres touching the line, obviously the lines of the bay that you're trying to get into, that is actually a driving test pass here in the UK. This is how it looks from when you're in the car. I'm just looking at my right side mirror now. So I'm not moving this, so I'm just holding the camera here so you can see it. So you can see there, if I hold in my mirror in the normal position here, I can't actually see the line. If I just maybe lean the camera up a touch, there it is, can you see? I can't even see where the back tyre is, even if I just lean the camera slightly out there, you can just about see where the tyre is. If you notice, yeah, the tyre's just sort of touching the line there. Okay, but from in the car, basically, if the line's completely disappeared, it's safe to say you are very, very close to that line, if not touching or maybe over it. But as I've just seen from the outside, I am actually touching it. So bizarrely, this would be a pass actually on the driving test here in the UK. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to leave the kit here. You'd want to adjust. So that's what I'm going to show you now. And then if you notice in the left-hand mirror here, yeah, I can't see any line there because clearly if I look at the left, I've already shown you from the outside, the front left tyre was touching the line. So the back left tyre, even if I lean it up, you see there's no chance of me seeing a line whatsoever. All I can see is like the curve that's at the back. So obviously I'm going to need to straighten this up and I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay, so this is how you'd adjust it. So obviously I can't see that line on the right hand side at the moment, so I'm going to have to take it forwards. So I'm going to take it forwards, I'm going to steer lock to the right until I can see the line in question. There it is, you can see the line just coming into view. So I'm just going to keep it going until it looks parallel, which is about there. Then I'm going to steering lock off, then I'm going to stop. So you can see I've got myself nice and parallel there. Okay, now what I can do is pop it back into reverse, and then I can just back up into the bay. Keep it going, just my reversing sensor's beeping there because I've got some hedges behind. Notice there a good little marker is, if you can just see at the bottom here, I've just got a little bit of road space there, just between where my car is and the curb that's at the back. So if I've got that little bit of road space there, I know then I'm not going to roll back and basically just hit or overhang that curve that's at the back. Okay, so if you look at that, it looks like I'm on the line that's on the right hand side. If I'm not on it, I'm very, very close to that line. So obviously I wouldn't want to leave it this close. It'd be fine for a driving test, as I've mentioned previously, because if you're touching the line, that's technically fine. But basically all aspects of parking in your everyday life, once you've passed that driving test, you would not want to park it this close, because obviously somebody next to you would find it very difficult to park there. So what you do in this moment is just put it in gear 1 and just basically take the car forwards out of the bay. Okay, so I'm looking to get myself far enough out here so I can just see maybe the start of the bay just there. Now can you see that there? So I can see the start of the bay. I'll probably go a bit further actually, just take it a little bit more. This is obviously dependent upon the space that you've got in the car park. Right, you can see the bay there, the line. So I'm just going to back it up. First I'm going to turn to the left, so I'm trying to get a bit closer to that bay that's the line, sorry, that's on the left hand side. Okay, so you can see I've created a bit of space away from the bay now. Now I'm going to turn back the other way, turn to the right, back towards that line, like so. So it's bringing it round parallel again, which is about there. There we go. And I'm just going to slowly back up again until about there again. Okay. All right, so as you can see now, it's not like I'm touching the line now. There's a bit of a gap. I've got the line just over here, and I've got my car just there. So you can see there's a small gap. That means now I'm not touching that line. I've got myself a little bit more to the left, which is more central into the bay. Okay, so if you look at this one, this is clearly an angle where the back of my car, the back right of my car, is facing towards the line that's on the right hand side. So there's two options here. If I've got enough space, I could maybe reverse and turn away from the curve, which is turning the wheel to the left, which would, let me just turn those reverse sensors off, they're getting a bit annoying. There we go. So I could turn it, just sort of full locked it to the left, and you see it's bringing it round parallel to the line there, then straighten up, but it still seems relatively close, doesn't it, if you can see there. So another option would be, let's put myself back into that same position I just was, right, which was about there. Okay, so you see I'm clearly facing the line. My other option is to pop it in gear 1 and then just take it forwards. So I forget now that the back of my car is facing to the right, because I'm now going forwards. The front of my car is facing to the left. So what I must do when I go forwards to get rid of this angle is turn the wheel to the right. This is a mistake a lot of learners make. You've got to remember which way you're going. And if you're going forwards with the front of your car facing to the left, you must turn to the right. What that in turn does is basically line up the back of the car. It takes it away from that line. So let me just show you. So I popped it in gear 1. I'm just taking it forwards. So look, I've turned the wheel to the right because my front is facing to the left, but look how it's bringing it round parallel. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm nearly there and I'm parallel there, and I'll stop. So you see how that's completely got rid of that angle, and it looks like a nice distance from the line as well now. So pop it back in reverse, take it back into the bay, keeping it going, stop when I've just got a little bit of road space there. Sorted. Right, so you can see there, line I've got there, and I've got my car here. It's got rid of that angle and it looks parallel. Now this little thing where you've got that little bit of road there, that won't work for every single car. Mine's a Ford Fiesta, it's quite a small car. If you've got a car that's a lot higher, so say you're sat up higher, say like more of an SUV type car, this won't work. So this is very much dependent upon the size of your car. If you've got anything that's a Ford Fiesta size, just like a small to medium sized car, this is generally a good marker to use as to how far back to judge the reverse bay parking. Okay, so looking at this angle, it's clearly an angle where the back of my car is facing to the left. Okay, so I'm actually facing that line that's on my left hand side, and I'm just facing away from the bay that you're looking at. I'm just using the right side mirror now, so I'm actually facing away from that line. So again, I've got two options here. If I've got the space on the reverse, because I'm not fully into the bay yet, I could do something about it now on the reverse. So if I'm reversing, if I steer lock it to the right, right, and you see it's bringing it round parallel to the line about there. Now straighten up, but you can see the distance from it. It looks quite far from that line. You see the gap between the line and the car is quite a big gap, so that would suggest I'm very close to the left hand line. So the other option, I'll just switch back to where we were. Let's have a look at that angle I just had. Let's keep going, keep it going, and then if I stop it about there, so again you can see I'm clearly angling away from that line that we're looking at now in the right side mirror. So my other option would be to take it forwards. Now this is again now where my front of my car is facing to the right. I forget that my rear of my car is facing to the left, because I'm now going in gear 1. I must steer, because my front's facing to the right, I must steer to the left. That in turn will bring the back of my car more to the right where it needs to be. Okay, so here we go. Steering to the left going forwards. There we go. Seeing so it's taking it parallel to the line, which is there. Now obviously the line's gone completely out of view as well. So now the line's gone completely out of view. If I roll forwards and keep going, I'm now giving myself space to now reverse. So now I'm in reverse. I know I need to steer to the left because I can see I'm on the line that's just on the right hand side of my car. Right, so if I steer the wheel to the left, there, now the line's coming into view. So I'm going to keep going until it looks like the back of my car, the back right tyre is a bit more central, about there maybe. Okay, so you see the back right of my tyre must be somewhere around here now. So now, because my back's facing to the left, I've turned into the left to get the rear left of my car in, but I need to now steer to the right to get myself parallel again. Okay, so there's my right turn. Look how the line's coming back parallel again. Let's try and get that gap between the line and the car a bit closer. Yep, there we go. Right, and then again, just back up slowly into the bay. Just stop when I've still got a little bit of road space there. Right, so what I can see now, you can just about see the line, just about here. You can see my car here, and that gap there is just a bit smaller than it was previously. So that's how to correct an angle. Then once I've finished the manoeuvre, what I have to do is put my mirror back up to normal. So I'm just going to raise it back up to about there. So if you can see, I can just see the back edge of the front door handle, which is, let's see, just there. Okay, what I can see is the side of the mirror, side of the car, sorry, down the side of the mirror, just in this little corner bit here. So the idea of setting the mirror correctly is just having a little bit of the side of the car and the side of the mirror, but all this bit to the side is then what you can see basically just to the side of your car, to the right side, and what could be there.